on the waste here at ILCA. Milk cartons are recycled to use from lunches as pots for seedlings. And this compost soil that is created from the vermicompost is used in our greenhouse. Pause for reading. Registered therapy dogs and their handlers come in to kindergarten when they start reading once a week. Warm brown eyes and doggy grins make all the difference to children's reading experiences. It is an opportunity to read to such non-critical, caring listeners. The dogs come in once a week when the children begin reading. If you're interested in a program like this, call your local veterinarians to see if there are some registered therapy dogs in your area. World Traveler of the Week is something that I run during the second half of the year. The students take a suitcase home with several different countries inside to choose from. Students present Fridays, one Friday for every student, and students are able to choose a country, draw the flag, and tell us one thing about the country that they've learned. And then I take a picture of that student, download it quickly, and they all glue the child's photo into their little passports that we've made, and they draw something that they've learned from their friend and write a sentence about it. I also video that, and it goes out on our network, and other teachers can access that and show their classes. And I also put it on our kindergarten parent website so the parents can view that. World Traveler of the Week, and the teacher videos the presentation. I think I went over that. Google Earth, using Jing.com, you can use other programs such as Paint. You can create task cards, which are an enormous success because they scaffold the learning for the students. Students must find a Bible place using Google Earth. The text they type is on each task card, and a picture of the biblical place through satellite is also included. When the screen shows what was asked for on the task card, all the students in the class get a stamp on their little task card passport. We do this throughout the year to connect Bible lessons to their learning so they may know that these places really exist, and there are actually satellite images available for them to see, although we cannot travel there. Grandparent games. Every year I collect the names of kindergarten parents or good friends of the family who would like to participate. I run it every third Friday of the month from 1 to 2 o'clock. Grandparents come in to help teach board games and puzzles and share their Christian values and stories with us. Scientist of the Week is much like World Traveler of the Week. There's a backpack that goes home once a week with a child, and there are lab coats and goggles and clipboards of simple science experiments, with some having a Bible connection. The child is to learn a science experiment with their family and return to school and complete that science experiment in front of the class. I again video that, and it goes out on the network for teachers to access to show their classrooms, and I also upload it to the parent website, kindergarten parent website, and I also take a picture and download it for all the children, and they glue that into their science journals. Reading Granny wanted a way to utilize Lutheran elders in the classroom. So kindergarten has a granny who comes in once a week to listen to them read individually. It is not uncommon to see granny praying with the child too. What a blessing she has been. Technology Tuesday and Smartboard. I recommend that you do this if you don't have a smartboard in your classroom. Book a block of time to use the smartboard every Tuesday. Complete a variety of your routine activities, including calendar, etc., during that time on the smartboard. Tweets for Jesus. Technology is what you make it. While many of their people have their doubts about social networks like Facebook, Twitter, blogs, I find them a potential for ministry, witness, and encouragement. In kindergarten, students meet each week to write a class tweet, a prayer to Jesus. Parents can join us in prayers by becoming followers of our class on Twitter. The access is restricted to family and staff. This ends my section. Are there any questions?
we're just about ready to continue with the presentation. I'd like to verify that if you have a question, please post your question in the box under the chat section, and the committee will monitor that and respond to your questions.
The webpage that I use is on shutterfly.com. Teachers can sign up for an account there. It isn't very expensive. If you watch for deals, that's what the first grade teacher and I found. And you can upload, it's very simple to use. You just upload photos and type in journals and things. Very user friendly, and that's what I do as well as the first grade teacher. And we put all our videos and photos on there so parents can access that from home. They can also download any photos that we put up there, and they can upload any photos that they've taken of the children on field trips, etc. Yes, you can secure your site so that it's only available to people that you invite. Oh, concerning the tweets, yes, you can control that. You can have it so that it's only to people that you have invited into your Twitter account.
Hello, my name is Mary Schultz and I teach first grade at Immanuel. Our first best practice is Researcher of the Week. This activity was an extension of the kindergarten's class Scientist of the Week. I wanted to continue what they had started, but make it a little different for first grade. I feel it is very important for children to be able to present information in the way they feel most comfortable. The experience gives the student the chance to present information in many different forms. They can make up a song, draw a picture, make a poster, write a report, or many other ideas can come. The students gain experience with public speaking and answering questions from the class afterwards. The class gets experience in becoming a polite audience and learning to ask appropriate questions afterwards. How we do this is I pick a student at random once a week. The student will have a week to prepare their project. The topic and matter in which they present their work is totally up to them. At the beginning of the year, I give the parents a letter that gives them some helpful hints on helping their child with their project. I list websites that are safe and kid-friendly that they can use for their information. The day of the presentation, the class will sit in the group and listen to the presenter. I videotape it and then later put it on Shutterfly so that the parents can enjoy it as well. The class listens quietly, and at the end of the presentation, they can ask the presenter questions about the topic. The results of this have been exciting. The children really love this activity and cannot wait for it to be their turn. The students grow in self-confidence and their ability to speak in front of others. The students are introduced to such varied and interesting topics, which sometimes springboard into new activities that we can explore as a class.
I'm still not hearing OCL. They have to.
If you would, presenters, reactivate your mic. We're not getting any sound.
Presentations test.
Okay, we've got you back on. If you would back up to the beginning of the slide and start there.
Okay, Marvelous Mondays. The way we do that, the two classes meet in the kindergarten classroom so that we can use the smart board. Stacy and I lead them in singing songs, moving to music, and just having fun. Sometimes the children choose the songs, but other times we choose some that go along with whatever theme we're doing for that week. It's very informal and just a fun way to start the week. The students and teachers really enjoy this activity. It gets our brains working, our bodies moving, and our hearts and minds in the right place to have a great week. And the last area that I would like to talk about is Skyping. Was daughter Brittany's idea. She teaches high school deaf students in Yuma, Arizona. And we decided it would be a neat idea to have our two classes be pen pals. We began with her students writing to mine, and then my students write back. After we have exchanged letters, we Skyped the class so that the two could meet. We try to do this at least once every 2 weeks or so. The way we do this is this is done in my classroom using my computer or in the computer room with the smart board whenever possible. And it's a whole lot better on the smart board because the students can see much better. We Skype about 2 times a month. I will tell Brittany ahead of time what our theme is for the week, our spelling words, etc. And then she has her students work on showing us signs and different aspects of that. Brittany teaches in a public high school and therefore cannot share her faith with her students. So sometimes my class will sing a song or say a verse or even tell the Christmas or Easter story to her students. This has become an exciting evangelism tool for my class. Some of the results of this is that both classes love the time we spend together. The students are learning some sign language, and her class is gaining skills in helping others. Both groups learn from writing letters back and forth. This is especially good for Brittany's class because some of them have delays in their writing abilities, and this gives them an excellent chance to work on that. It is an awesome way for my class to share their faith with some students who may not hear the gospel in any other way. Brittany told me that after one time when we talked to her class about the Easter story, one of her students came and asked her about Jesus, and Brittany was able to talk with her about it, and that was such a blessing to know that our class shared Jesus with them. And that's the end of my presentation. Does anyone have any questions?
Good afternoon. I'm Raylene Buxton, and yes, technology is wonderful. I'm the computer teacher here, and so I'm sorry if the audio went off. I'm not sure what that was about, but you just kind of play along, right? Okay, the first thing that I wanted to share in our classes is our teaching project. Of course, this could be used for any grade, but we use it with our 5th graders. It's a year-long project that we start off, that we want them to be able to teach a class, but basically a lesson plan type thing. They start off at the beginning of the year learning how to use an outline to organize their thoughts of whatever subject matter they want to present. We try to get this to where it will blend into a core class. An example, one year we had a gentleman that he was just eaten up with jet airplanes. And I wasn't quite sure how to use that, but we used it in history, that he could give the history of flight. He, of course, used some videos, used some pictures of the type of planes that he was interested in. And then the activity that he chose was he taught the kids how to make a proper paper airplane. Very easy, very quick. They got to decorate it. They folded it correctly. And then they had a contest of who could throw it the farthest. So it was a fun thing, but it brought home his love and also teaching the other kids. We use Google Docs to use that outline, and also for the outline and also the presentation of that. A minimum of 10 slides is required to present to their class that they actually teach. Next slide is they must supply an activity and a handout for that class. So in my example, they did the paper airplane. Grading timelines are the outlines due sometime in November that we set. Presentation is in January. The actual teaching part of it has to be done by the end of April. Besides using basic technology skill set, this activity supports subject knowledge, organizational, and those skills there, preparedness, public speaking, and audience classroom management, which is something even the teachers struggle with sometimes. Next slide is photography. All of our sixth graders take photography. By this time, they should have a basic computer skill set. And so now in sixth grade, they just love to take pictures of each other, so we've utilized that. Pictures that they take are utilized in their yearbook. Basic digital photography, lighting, editing, and how to become a picture director are learned. It's not just point and shoot. My goal for the end of the year is that they never look at a picture in the same way. Assignments are by major photo genres: lighting, landscape, marketing, portraits. That's always some kind of fun things that we add in that they are interested in as well. Let's see. Also, we provide cameras for school use. We have 4 little digital cameras that they can use, but they use their own cameras, iPods, phones, or DS2s to submit assignments. Basically, I just want the memory card to come in. We look at those pictures, critique them, and grade them that way. Also, local photographers in our area are always excited to be a part of this learning process. They love to come in and share their knowledge with those kids. We invite them, and they just always say, "How can we help?" So that's always a nice thing. For 7th through our 11th grades, we set up broadcasting as an elective. By this time, students already have a gift of seeing the world around them in a different way, and they know how to record it. We record newscasts, school and community commercials, and collaborate with the speech and drama department for other projects. We have a really good time in this class. That's a neat thing. We have a personal camcorder, but we also use our digital cameras. Cameras are much more convenient and portable. We don't have to set up, extension cords and all that type of thing. Cameras, you can just, go for it. The editing software that we use is CyberLink's Power Director. We can get that for $70 a license through Journey Ed. I'm sure there are several others, but that one seems to be a pretty intuitive program for us. Other students and staff are asked to play different parts, and they always enjoy seeing themselves on the big screen. Thanks to Perry, he's the first one that told me about Google Docs. We have used this for a couple of years and are really enjoying it. Saves on Office Suite software costs. It's free. You set up your school as a secured site. Only students and faculty members that you want to add in can have access to those documents. They are accessible on any internet connection. So even if they're sick at home, they can still do their homework. Files can be shared with other students in major projects, or as a way to submit homework directly to the teacher without having to print it off and then having to remember to turn it in. So those are a few things that we use. That's the end of my section. And let me go over and see if we have any questions. Looks like we're doing good. Okay. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Susan Humphrey, and I am the art teacher at ILCA. Our big idea in the area of art was to go online. This past year, ILCA joined the largest online children's museum in the world. And the best part is that this is a totally free program. Artzonia offers free web space to showcase your children's artwork, free lesson plans and ideas for kindergarten through 12th grade, and free help and tutorials for teachers of all ability levels. In fact, it's even better than free. Artzonia can actually pay your art program for the time and effort you put into photographing, uploading, and publishing artwork. But more about that in just a minute. The benefits of the Artzonia program include, oops, did it switch? A boost in your child's pride and self-esteem. Okay, there it comes. Viewing their own creations online definitely helps students put more effort in their art room when they know that their pieces are going to be posted for their friends and family to see. It increases parental and family involvement in their children's education. They'll take a much more active role by joining their students' fan clubs and leaving supportive comments in the students' guest books. This feedback is priceless in the development of artistic confidence. The financial support for the art program is immeasurable. When parents, grandparents, and friends order keepsake gifts with their children's artwork imprinted on it, Artzonia will return a 15% commission to the school's art program. Very few programs out there offer that big of a commission coming back. Our parents love ordering Christmas cards and grandparents' gifts with a unique piece of art on it, and we loved collecting over $250 for our art materials and special programs last year. It was a win-win combination. Fourth, an integration of technology into the classroom. The technical literacy of viewing artwork online, tracking artistic statistics, leaving comments for friends, etc., provides technology experience for students that stays within a safe educational environment. This year, some of our high school students will actually be helping with the photography, uploading, and publishing of the pictures. Again, an integration of technology and a win-win situation. School rankings and honors for the art department and for the school are immeasurable also. Each year, Artzonia awards presentations to the top participating schools in each state and on a national basis. Last year, ILCA was number 2 in the state of Oklahoma and 370th nationally. It was our first year out, and we feel that we've set a rather high standard, but the kids are already challenging me to be number 1 this year. Last but not least, the enrichment of the school art program and also of our classroom. Children develop multicultural understanding through viewing children's art from all over the world. There are about 100 different nations that have artwork up on Artzonia, so we can go into other countries and look at what their children are doing with the same ideas in mind. I've also discovered some great new lesson plans and found ways to refine some of my old favorites. There are over 3,700 lesson plans available on Artzonia. I've also joined an active, enthusiastic community of other art teachers. We share our successes and also some of our not so wonderful successes. We don't call them flops. Now, does this sound kind of hard and time intensive? Well, it's not. This is an example of a teacher page. Artzonia provides all the materials that you need to set up, start a student roster, send out parent letters, get permission slips, and digitalize and upload all of your artwork. It takes a little bit in the beginning to get the hang of it, but after that it's very safe and secure and a lot of fun. You don't have an art teacher in your classroom? You are all the art teachers in each different grade level? No problem. Find a parent, take turns, find ways to upload other pieces of artwork into your program. Possibly social studies projects, book reports, or other pieces of artwork done for other types of lessons, thank you, can be added to Artzonia. And parents, again, and grandparents and friends, once they see how wonderful this site is, are going to want to come and help you to put those up there. I'm happy to help anyone get started, and so is Artzonia. It's at www.artzonia.com, and if you have any questions, please type them in. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Jennifer Murray, and I teach 5th, 9th, 10th, and 11th grade language arts. In this slide that you're seeing right now, there's an 11th grade student creating an interactive book report on Glogster.com. When I asked my high school students how they felt about this type of book report, they replied with the answers you see in front of you. I love this. I want to do another one. We are saving paper. This is so much fun. When is our next project? I thought Glogster would be hard to figure out, but it was so user-friendly. It's cool that we can share our projects on Facebook and Edmodo. This is so much better than book reports. The class has a Facebook account in which only ILCA students and their parents are allowed to join. This is used to post assignments and share information about what is going on in our class. Students are allowed to share pictures, projects, and videos from school. The 11th grade student you saw 2 slides earlier has posted his Glogster on our class Facebook page. Glogster.com. High school students were required to read Flowers for Algernon. Upon completion, they were given a username for Glogster. Glogster is an online resource for creating book reports, videos, etc. Each student designed a poster about the book via his/her Glogster account. The students were given the option to share his or her posters via our class Facebook page. Edmodo.com. Students may share their Glogster creations with our class Edmodo or class Facebook page. Their parents and classmates can log on and view their creations. Edmodo is another online tool for posting assignments, taking class surveys, and sharing classroom creations. It is usually more desirable for 5th grade students' parents due to concerns about Facebook use for younger children. This concludes my presentation. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Hello, I'm Mickey Toney. I teach math to grades 6 to 11. In slide 1, if you need a math drill that works, then I suggest the card game Salute. Salute is a fast-paced card game. This game develops quick mental math calculations of sums, differences, products, and quotients. Slide 1, for example, shows each girl with an 8. So the sum would be 16 or a product of 64. Notice in slide 2, the only supplies needed are a standard deck of cards for every team of 3 students. Remember to remove the jokers and the face cards, kings, queens, and jacks. Aces will count as 1, 2s count as 2, 3s count as 3, and so on. All grade levels can play Salute. Your entire class can play as shown in slide 3. Salute may be adapted to reduce the degree of difficulty by removing the higher counted cards, if needed, until they improve their mental math skills. I have my middle school students go to 1st and 2nd grade classes to show them how to play Salute using sums, while my high school students go to grades 3 through 5. In those classes, they use sums and products. The rules for Salute are few. Each team has 3 students and a captain is selected. You may want to have the students choose from the highest card drawn, or select the captain from the oldest student in the group, just to begin with the starting captain. Also, you may want to select the students that are in each team based on their similar math abilities at the beginning. When the captain says Salute, the 2 sailors lift a top card from the face-down deck that has been placed in front of them. They place this card on their forehead without looking at their own card. They turn and face the captain while saluting, and the captain calculates the sum or product of the 2 given numbers. In slide 4, the captain said the sum is 19. Each sailor turns and faces one another to see what their opponent's card shows. Each sailor calculates the missing number with quick mental math by subtracting or dividing. The first sailor to state his own's value correctly wins both cards. In case there's a tie, like shown in slide 5, the 2 used cards go into a pile and then will be awarded to the clear winner in the next round. The student you see in slide 6 stated her own card's value first, so now she wins both the cards from that round as well as the 2 cards from the previous tie round. Play will continue until one sailor has all the cards. Then he or she will become the new captain. The cards are shuffled and a new game is ready to begin. You should find the more the students play, the faster and more accurate they calculate mentally. So I really recommend that you give Salute a try. The students will love it and so will you. Thank you for listening. Are there any questions?
Hello, I'm Laura Opper, and I teach science here at ILCA 2 grades 6 through 11. And one of our big questions is, how can you teach science effectively on a small budget so that you don't have to do written work every single day? And I have found many ways to make this a successful science program. My first suggestion would be to keep it simple. The boys in this picture, and these pictures, are measuring the growth of yeast using paper cups and a plastic box we turned upside down on a heating pad to make an incubator. So we did a very analytical experiment using simple materials. Stress scientific method to your students. That's a very basic aspect of science, and you can make a lot of different labs just asking scientific questions. You can make a lot of labs for having students making measurements, manipulating materials, and try to teach a variety of lab skills using simple activities. Be creative. Adapt labs to the materials you have on hand. These girls are getting ready to measure friction with their shoes. So they were adding weights to their shoes to make sure they all measured the same amount of mass. So use your materials in many different ways. You can use beads to be symbols for trees, animals, atoms, stars. You can use a lot of materials in a lot of different ways. Make up your own labs. Look and see what you have in your closet, what your students have, and use that to make labs. Materials and ideas can come from many sources. We went to a workshop put on by Oklahoma Resources, Energy Resources, and got materials from there. You can get materials from your Fish and Wildlife Department, energy resource boards. You can talk to universities and colleges, and you can talk to members of the congregation that support your school and get a lot of information from them and a lot of materials. And many labs can have multiple applications. I have used simple labs for the 6th graders, and then by changing the focus or the questions, used it for the high school students also. So it kind of is double dipping, I guess. But it works. And have fun. The simplest hands-on activities are going to help kids remember what they learn. The 3 boys in this picture were learning Newton's laws by using skateboards and action figures. And they will remember a lot more about Newton's laws than anything that was in the book. Kids will learn to think logically and creatively. They'll start to ask their own questions, think of labs to answer them, and they will learn to enjoy being scientists. And that's the whole point of the class. Does anyone have any questions? I would be glad to share a list of suggested materials. If anyone would like that, they can just email me, Laura Opper, and I'll be glad to send that to you.
Good afternoon. Am I being heard at this point? Okay, I think I heard you. Well, thank you so much to Catherine McGrew and her staff for their willingness to share so many wonderful activities and strategies with all of us. I think that you would agree with me that it's very easy to see why Immanuel Lutheran Christian Academy is an exemplary school. I think that we've got some questions continuing to be typed in, but I'll take this opportunity to remind you of our next webinar, and that will be October 4th, same time, and it will feature West Portal Lutheran School from San Francisco, California. West Portal will share information about their Partners in Faith program, where church and school come together to share our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ with our non-churched families. Pastor and principal would benefit from watching this webinar together. In addition, they will present how they prepare students for their unique and challenging high school application process. I see we have a question there from Janice. Are there any preschool ideas?
Not in this presentation. Janice, I think that's your name. Our K through 8 school was the one recommended for exemplary, so we focused on best practices in those grades. However, we do a lot of technology integration in our preschool as well, just getting them ready to move right on into those very technology enriched areas of kindergarten and first grade.
I see Terry is typing. We'll see if he has a question or a comment. Okay, if you can read his answer there, we will be featuring Concordia's Early Learning Center in River Forest in a few weeks. So tune back in for that one for specifics.
Thank you to everyone who participated, and please contact us if you need more information or have questions.
Looks like we have a little more activity on the chat board. Doris is the director at Concordia's center. Looks like we're finished with the questions. Thank you again for participating. Blessings on the rest of your week, and we look forward to having you tune in again next week. God bless you all.